In connection with current situation, many Russian-speaking residents are very much interested in, if for example, if they are inside their house and the house is being attacked, can they use the weapon? But how they could protect themselves if they're in a situation when they really have to use the weapon?
I'm going to keep this as simple as I can. If you're in your home, you're either by yourself or your loved ones are also in your home with you, and a stranger is uninvited, breaks into your home, whether they walk in the front door, break through a window, you can use deadly force to protect yourself, which includes with a weapon, if you reasonably feel that your life or your loved ones' lives are in danger. You do not have to retreat. You do not have to retreat in your own home. You can stand your ground in your own home, and you can use deadly force to protect yourself and your loved ones. If somebody is leaving the home, or if they've already gotten out of the home, or they're in your yard, please don't engage them. Call 911. But if you don't have a chance, and they're actually breaking into your home, or they are uninvited, you may protect yourself with a weapon with deadly force.
And you said when they breaking in. So breaking in is the process, okay? So let's say somebody's like trying to break your door, but they physically is not there, but you already felt like that you might be attacked. You don't know who is behind the door, or people breaking the windows. Can you use the weapon in this case, or you have to wait up until they actually gonna be in your house?
You never have to wait until you are being attacked. But my advice is don't shoot somebody through a door. Don't try to use a weapon through a door. That's why you have a door, to protect you. Call 911. But if you've got your family to protect and yourself to protect, and somebody's clearly breaking in, they've gotten that door open or that window open, and you reasonably, legitimately feel in fear for your life or your loved ones' lives, you can use deadly force. You can use a weapon. Once you neutralize the force, once you neutralize the attacker, you can't continue to attack. That's no longer defense, that's offense, and we do not permit offense.
If you're not a professional and you're in a stressful situation and you do have a gun, and you have a family behind your back, and you shoot once and then you shoot another one. I mean, you didn't physically run and shoot this person one day on the ground, but you sort of kind of would it be different when they're going to look at the case?
Yes. So
you have to make sure that it's like one shoot and done.
No.
No.
You can protect yourself until you reasonably see that the threat is neutralized. You can't do more than that, but that doesn't mean you can only shoot somebody once or hit somebody once or hit them with a bat once. As long as you still reasonably, and I keep saying reasonably, feel threatened, you may continue to protect yourself and your loved ones.
What if you're inside of your house behind the window, right, and you see somebody on your property moving to your house, and this person has a weapon in their hands? In this situation, can you use the weapon or no? Or it's going to be against you?
If they're outside of your house,
But they're on the premises.
But you're protected within your house, my best advice would be to call 911 immediately. We all have a cell phone. We have a phone connected to us at all times. Call 911. I'm not saying that you have to wait until the danger is right upon you, but your house does protect you. That's why we have houses, to protect us. And so as long as the threat is outside and remains outside, I would say that you don't have as clear a right to use deadly force. They don't have to be successful in breaking into your house. Once you see them actually trying to break in, then I think you can resort to that self-protection again.
There's a difference in this regard in using the weapon between, let's say, Bucks County, where you're at, and Philadelphia, where majority of our community.
I can't speak for the district attorney in other counties. I can only speak for myself. I would be the one making that decision in Bucks County. There's a district attorney in Philadelphia that would make that decision in Philadelphia.
So I could tell that there's a huge difference. It depends on the district attorney actually to determine whether the weapon were used lawfully or not. It's not a black and white. It's always like it's a lot of shades of gray color. So it's up to the district attorney to determine. So what I'm trying to say is like it's very important then who is that district attorney, and this is the district attorney is the person that we elected. Am I correct?
Yes.
Absolutely. So it's extremely important then who do we elect? So how do we know this person? What record this person has? What personality this person has? So we really need to study who is the district attorney is. So like, yeah.
That's a great point. We all have a history that we can be judged on, and judgment is really what you're electing. Do you trust my judgment? Do you trust me to make the right decision when you've reacted in a crisis situation? That's the essence of it.
So for those 27 years that you've been the DA, and I'm pretty much sure that you had lots of cases, the different ones, but was it really like the one situation that's make you different from everybody else, like in the sense of the using a weapon?
I had a case, I really have to shorten this, but I had a case in which a man was visiting his friends at a pizza shop. The pizza shop was about to close in Middletown, which is right up the street from where we are. And these two robbers came in. They had masks, they had guns, and the visitor, he owned a chicken shack down the street. And the one robber came right up to him and smacked him over the head and knocked him down to one knee on the ground. And then they both, the robbers, trained their attention on the guy behind the counter and said, "Give us all your money." The guy that got knocked to the ground, who was a customer, stood up, took a gun out, and shot both robbers. The one robber died. The other robber paralyzed. That's not it. The guy that shot the two robbers had an expired permit to carry the gun.
Wow.
So I had 3 questions to answer. Should he be charged with homicide? Should he be charged with possessing that gun illegally? Because that was a slam dunk. Or should he not be charged at all? And we looked at the circumstances of the case. We looked at his background, lawfully discharged, honorably discharged from the military, a family man, a business owner, protecting himself, protecting the two guys at the pizza shop. And I said, you do get credit for all that. And I did not charge him with a single crime. We charged the guy that lived with the robbery, and as it turns out, his pregnant girlfriend and his mother were the lookouts, and we charged them as well. And I feel like I made the right decision there. So you have to trust your judgment.
Fascinated. It's actually, it's blown my mind, because if you're gonna go by the book, that's what we call, this guy who protect a lot of people in that shop and has to be charged and go to jail. And instead, and it would be extremely unfair. And we know that the law is not always a fair thing. It's not always fair game. But that example, it's really fascinating, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. It took a lot of courage to do that, because the easy, safe way would have been charge him.
Charge him.
And let a jury sort it out. That didn't feel right to me. And I had to live with that decision. I didn't know whether that would be a popular decision or an acceptable decision, but that felt right in my heart, and that's what I did.
So with everything that we spoke before, And again, we're talking about the current situation when the question about the defunding police rises and all this madness. If we call a 911, can we actually expect the police to come and help us, or we have to sort of kind of start thinking about protecting ourselves?
I want people to feel safe. And if that means that you have to arm yourself to feel safe, that's your right. But another thing that I guarantee you in Bucks County, which may be different from other counties, is that when you call 911, you will get a response from the police. You will be protected. You can count on that. I meet regularly with the chiefs of police from all over Bucks County. In fact, I was just with the chief of police in Lower Southampton, which is right down the road. And that's their pledge, to protect and serve, regardless of who you are, where you come from, whether you've been here your entire life or not, whether you come from another city or town. We take that very seriously. It's service above self, and our job is to protect you and keep you safe. And we do it every day.
For many immigrants from former Soviet Union, it remains unclear why a person who, let's say, committed a murder often received a punishment softer than somebody who's committed the economical crime. So why is this happening? Is this because the money is more important than the human life, or why it's happening?
You're talking about a theory called proportionality.
Yes.
And your point is a great one. Sometimes somebody may commit a murder and they could go to jail for 5 or 8 years. And another person may commit what we call a white collar crime, a financial crime, and they could go to jail for seemingly the rest of their life. Every life is precious. So if you kill somebody, of course you need to be punished. And if you defraud many people, then the proportionality dictates that you have to be held responsible for each person that you defrauded, each person that you stole from. Sometimes when you add up the many, they are greater than even the one that another person may have killed. But I will say that if you're focused on the ultimate penalty, what is the potential penalty that somebody could serve in Pennsylvania? Every state is different. In Pennsylvania, if you commit a certain type of murder, you can get the death penalty. And we still have that here in Pennsylvania on the books. It's, I've argued for it myself. It's a very heavy burden. But I think that your point is a fair one. Sometimes it doesn't seem like the results are proportional, but the way that we look at it is, what kind of evidence do we have? What is a fair result in each individual case? Which speaks back to a question we answered earlier. And if a person, and I'll use an example like Bernie Madoff that people know, he stole billions of dollars from hundreds of thousands of people. You only have one life to give. So his crime was so vast and afflicted so many people.
He got the three. He got he's not only got the one life. He got, like, I think 3.
And he died in jail. But I have convicted people that have gotten 3 lifetimes or the death penalty. Now, I've also sent people to jail for murder. Even after a jury found them guilty, the judge gave them only 5 years or 8 years. It's all about proportionality. Are there issues in that person's past where they had a terrible childhood? Did the other person that they killed join the fight? There's a lot of aggravating factors and mitigating factors. That goes back to the principle, we have to treat each person as an individual, even if they're the one that committed the crime.
And theoretically speaking, equally.
Fairly.
How can you help the Russian-speaking community in Bucks County?
We talked about trust earlier. And I think in order to build trust, there has to be access and communication. So I pledge that if you want to meet with me, I'll be there to meet. You know I practice what I preach.
Absolutely.
And that goes for anybody. And I know that some people may be nervous that English is not your first language or that you don't speak English at all. But if we have to get a translator, that's what we're going to do. If I have to come to you or if I have to arrange a meeting like I just did before I came here today with a good community group and the local chief of police, that's what we're going to do. I don't just protect people that have been here their whole lives. I'm sworn to protect everybody, and if that includes the Russian community, it certainly does, then I need to come to you where you are. I need to make you feel comfortable so that you'll trust us, you'll trust law enforcement, because we're going to need your cooperation someday to keep all of us safe. We can't do it ourselves.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful.
Oh, my pleasure.
Wonderful, absolutely wonderful to meet you, and I hope that we're gonna meet in the future.
I hope so
and
too.
again and again.